welcome to ERA Demo Day 30.
Welcome to ERA.
I'm sure you've all read this by now, our legal sponsor, we can move on. So, yes, ERA 30.
John, hold on. John, I think I misheard you. Did you say 30? Oh my God, 30!
Some of you have actually been here from the very beginning, and we truly do appreciate it. It's been an amazing 30 cohorts, and we think that this one is the best one yet.
I think there's something wrong with your clicker. Hold on. Click on it. Hold on, what is this? Who put this here? No, hold on. Let me explain. 2011 June, us giving the investment check to our company boss table, which is our first exit. But hold on, something is wrong here. Hold on, what's going on? Hold on. John, click one more time. No. We used to look like that. So now you know, the lesson from this morning is this. Do not invest in 400 companies.
People ask us what 30 looks like, and 30 looks like that. Anyway, so we're going to get started. The group of companies behind me is an incredible group of founders. We've really enjoyed working with them over the last 4 months, and we think everyone here is going to find at least one company today that they're excited to invest into. First, a quick thank you on behalf of myself, Murat, Perry, Mark, Jeremy, Karen, Max, Sho, Gonzalo, Mike, Alex, and Zach. Thank you very much for all you've all done to help us today. Thanks for coming, and we appreciate all of you. As Murat mentioned, the companies today join more than 400 ERA companies that have come before them that are serving and disrupting just virtually every industry today. We think they've come a long way, and we're really excited for what all these companies are going to be doing over the next decade. We promise we'll keep this short, but we did want to take a minute to talk about something you're going to hear a lot today, which is AI. AI is impacting virtually everything we see out there, and every company you see today is going to be building with it, using it, and doing just things that wouldn't have been possible a few short years ago. And we're always asked, what does this mean for your companies? So we just wanted to take like 2 minutes to be able to tell you how we see the world a little bit. And to start, we're less than 10 years from the Transformer paper, which is really the kickoff of Gen AI as it is today. And things have moved fast. We went past chatbots to agents to autonomous to physical AI, and things are just accelerating. Any industry you look at, we think is going to be fundamentally transformed. Some of these things are obvious, but the growth of ChatGPT, of generative AI, is unlike anything anyone saw. In the first 3 years after its launch, its adoption was getting on 1 billion users, which was 10 years faster than the internet got there. Headline, it's fast and it's getting faster. And the other piece related to it is cost. The cost of being able to use AI has plummeted over the last 5 years. We'll spare you all the details, but it means that you can apply it in ways that wouldn't have been possible, and this is going to become even more so over coming years. The result? AI is no longer just a tool. It's not something you can just use for one thing and walk away and say, hey, that's enough. We believe it's becoming fundamental infrastructure for every industry, and that's what you're starting to see from some of these startups today.
So one thing is people still think AI is not being adopted, but you can see almost half the businesses are paying for some paid AI tool already. People are experimenting using it. So one thing that is major is this. Until like a year ago, AI agents were still not capable as humans, but now, unfortunately, they passed human capabilities. So again, our companies, the companies we are meeting, investing, are not using AI. They are built inside AI tools and infrastructure, so they are AI native. And really, we are at this point where we think it's a huge opportunity. It's a huge disruption. I've been in technology for 35 years. My master's thesis was about neural networks and deep learning. But now something is happening that I've never seen happen before. It's a huge opportunity.
So I think every startup here today believes that this is an amazing time to be starting a company as AI accelerates. And one thing that's happening right now, and again, we're not going to go very deep here, but if you look at the model's capability, they've basically gotten good enough to be able to power many more things than are available today. And that gives this opportunity for startups to be able to build in so many different areas. When we think about what differentiates startups that will succeed in this era, we look at things like distribution, we look at things like workflows, we look at things like feedback loops that create data, and we believe the startups and the ERA community is incredibly well positioned to take advantage of it. Because one of the questions we ask all our companies, and I think you should as well, is will the value of a startup increase as the models get better? As AI gets better, are you in a better position or a worse position? And the companies you're about to meet, we think are in a better position. We look at things like context, like trust, like access. What are they doing that bring unique attributes to these areas that will allow them to succeed? And again, the group today, I think you'll be really impressed with what they have to share.
So as ERA, we work with our founders. We talk to people applying to ERA. We talk to our mentors, and we talk to our LPs. What's happening is this. Right now, our 700 plus founders is an amazing distribution graph for ERA founders. So our advantages don't stop there. We have 1,000 plus mentors. They give workflow embedding information to our companies. So it's really, and in New York City's density, New York City actually had more AI investments if you take out the very large funding rounds, more than Silicon Valley. So we are seeing this as a great time to be an investor with a platform, network, community, and a huge experience in investing in those companies. So we are very excited today that we are going to show you 14 of these companies. So some news from us. We do this every 6 months. Rockerbox, our company, has been acquired by DoubleVerify for $85 million. And user interviews also was acquired by user testing. And 30 Medicine was acquired by Remedy Meds for $600 million.
I'm not sure if any of the founders are here, but if so, congratulations. Moving on, some recent funding rounds, just some highlights of what's been happening in the portfolio. Alafia recently raised a $55 million Series B. Congratulations to TJ and the whole team. Hyro raised a $45 million Series C. Congratulations to Israel Ram and the whole team. Modern Phi, a $30 million Series B. Congratulations to Paolo and Adam. And Predoc, a $30 million Series A. Congrats to Nish and the team. These were all companies that presented at Demo Day not so long ago. We promise we'll be quick here, but a couple other portfolio recognitions. The Inc. 5000, we are proud to have 6 companies that were on it this year. Chicory, Order, Curiosity, Fingerprint, Mosaic, Tire Agent. Similarly, Forbes, America's Best Employers, Fingerprint, Hyro, and Order. Congratulations again. It's good to be growing fast. It's also good to have your employees really want to work there. And then, Murat.
So in the Inc. Female Founders 500 list, we are very excited to have LearnLux founders. And Forbes 30 under 30, Sarah from RDM. And also Business Intelligence Group, our company Glia from ERA 3 won an award for artificial intelligence. Yeah. And Forbes Cloud 100 Rising Stars tabs. We have many, actually, many more. We took out most of them.
We'll keep going. Deloitte Fast 500, Fingerprint and Naya, and there we go. So before we move on, and we promise we're going to get to the startups quickly, a quick note about the other side of the house. In addition to ERA, we run something called Remarkable Ventures, as many of you know, which is a seed fund that continues to invest in these companies and our alumni and our other mentors as these companies grow. We saw the first 10 years as investing into the cloud transition, and now we're investing into the AI transition across these industries, which are fundamental to the world, but also headquartered right here in New York City. Things like financial services, healthcare, energy, the biggest industries out there. In addition to this fund, we have a very specific fund called Remark Ventures Climate, investing in the energy transition. It's our newest fund. 9 companies have been invested in, and 1 unicorn already out of it in Taurus. And so just to give everyone a brief view, we invest in the startups you see here today, but also we invest in them as they grow as well. So with that, I want to turn it over to Perry and to thank a few people.
Okay, so you're about to meet 14 of the best companies in New York City. But to get them ready, we rely on a tremendous network of people. People who have day jobs, people who do other things, people who are leaders in their own industries, yet choose to stay involved, to come and work with companies on a daily and weekly basis to help them make the progress that you're going to hear these founders talk about today. So, first of all, many mentors are here today. I want to say thank you. We have close to 1,000 mentors, need to update it, close to 1,000 mentors who work with companies, each cohort, and we want to say thank you to those mentors. I want to give a special thank you, and I'm actually seeing 2 of them right in the front row here, to our lead mentors. These are mentors who work with companies on a weekly, sometimes multiple times a week basis. These are oftentimes alumni. Again, these are people who have other things that they're doing. They're building their own companies, and they work very intensively with the companies to help them think about business strategy, go-to-market, product, financing, all the things that startup founders need and benefit from lead mentors. And so thank you very much to our lead mentors. We also want to say thank you to alumni mentors. So these are people who stood on this very stage and who are actively fundraising, actively building, actively hiring, yet make themselves available to our companies. And so we want to say thank you very, very much to many of the alumni founders who are here today and who work with the founders to help them get their pitches ready and to build amazing businesses. And our venture partners. And so these are people who are long time involved with ERA. These are companies these are mentors who help bring, partners who help bring founders to us, send us referrals, who work closely with the companies during the program and beyond. And so thank you very, very much to our venture partners. You're going to see 14 amazing stories today, and we want to say thank you to the pitch coaches. So we have a number of people, Michael Baldwin, Dave Byrne, Michael Chiquino, Mark Marnacci, and Pat Kiernan. They come in and they work with the founders to make sure that not only are they telling great stories, but they are telling them in a fantastic way, and you're going to see the results of that. So thank you very much to our Demo Day pitch coaches. The ERA program and ERA Demo Day would not be as amazing as it is without a tremendous group of sponsors, and so I want to give some special shout-outs. So first of all, thank you to IAC, our host this morning. We are so glad to be back here at IAC. Thank you, IAC, for hosting us and being part of this special day for us. I want to thank our friends at Stiefel for your sponsorship and support of ERA, our program, and Demo Day. I want to say thank you to ThoroughPass. Thank you to Carta, to Deal, to Mercury, to Rowe, and to Witham. I want to say a special thank you to Lowenstein Sandler. I know Sarah and Leah are here today. If you wouldn't mind just waving or saying hello. Lowenstein, in addition to being a longtime friend of ERA, they work with every single company to make sure that everything is in order. They are tremendous startup lawyers, venture lawyers, and so thank you very much to our friends, Sarah and Leah. We really appreciate all you do to help the companies grow to be successful and make sure that they're doing all the right things. And to JustWorks. So thank you very much for all of our sponsors. If we could have one more round of applause for our sponsors. Okay, so as operating partners, we get to spend a lot of time working with the founders, helping them think about all the things that they should be doing to build big, successful businesses. But as we get ready for Demo Day, we help them get ready to absolutely nail their pitches. And so guess what? It is time to hear all of that work beginning to pay off. So I am thrilled to introduce our very first company that's going to present today. Please put your hands together to say welcome to Rob, founder and CEO of Discernis.
Me. I'm not sure if the mic's working. There you go. Hi, I'm Rob, founder of Discernis. We find the evidence that attorneys need to win their biggest cases. In the last 1 month alone, we've gone from $150,000 in revenue to this month just hitting $1 million in annual revenue. I'm very excited to share that with you, so thank you very much. We are live in some of the largest law firms in the world, and they continue to choose Discernis because we are building AI that no other company in the world can build. That's a bold statement, but it's something that I have been building for the last 10 years of my life. I got my PhD in AI from Columbia University, and at AWS, thank you, Columbia fans, at AWS, I led the team that taught our first language models how to reason at massive scale. Fundamentally, the work that we are building at Discernis is the exact same thing that I led at AWS. So let me tell you what it looks like for some of our biggest law firm customers to work with Discernis. This firm receives 4 million documents from their client. Hidden inside them are trade secrets, corporate strategy, and attorney-client privileged information that is so sensitive, it cannot leave the building. These documents are too sensitive even to go on the cloud. So that means no ChatGPT, no Claude, and no Harvey. Normally, these attorneys would hire hundreds of contract attorneys to go through every single document one by one in a process that would have taken them maybe 6 months. Instead, Discernis deploys directly onto the firm's servers, and every single document is tagged within days. When this case finished, the attorney running it told us directly that Discernis is as accurate as their top associates. This was our first big law customer just a few months ago, and now we are rolling out firm-wide in a deal that I am also pleased to announce will net an additional $1.2 million in revenue to Discernis over the next 12 months. This is live, this is rolling out right now. But this firm is not alone. In fact, US law firms by themselves spend $15 billion on problems just like this every single year. And for those cases that are structurally locked out of using the cloud by client mandates, privilege rules, and regulatory walls, there is no other AI solution that can touch them. But Discernis can. We are building a specialized reasoning system that runs on our customers' own hardware so that no data ever leaves the building. And best of all, on top of all of this, our models cost less than 1%, you heard it correct, less than 1% of the cost of foundational models to run. And so, when attorneys start with Discernis, they start on their most sensitive cases. Once they see how effective we are, they roll us out firm-wide to every case in their firm on every single document. We charge them per document, and these law firms have tons and tons and tons of documents. So many that every law firm to us is worth $5 million once fully rolled out. And this demand, thank you, and this demand is very strong. So strong, in fact, that we already have over $30 million in qualified pipeline across 10 of the world's largest law firms. Thank you. But it doesn't even stop with law firms. They only see this risk once there's already a lawsuit. But every single Fortune 500 company wants to find and eliminate risk before they get sued. And so, in the not too distant future, every single one of these Fortune 500 companies will be using Discernis to continually monitor and assess risk on every document in their firm all the time. Because frankly, once this technology becomes available, and it is, it would be irresponsible for every one of these public companies not to use Discernis. I'm Rob, and this is Discernis. Thank you very much.
All right, what a way to start. Let's one more round of applause for Rob and Discernis. All right, next up, I am pleased to introduce the founder and CEO of Closai, Allison.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allison Riley, the founder of Closai, customer purchase infrastructure for retail. Every shopper has a history of all the purchases they've ever made, but there was no way to see it all. Throughout my 10 years at Amazon, this really bothered me because I knew the single most powerful predictor of what a customer will buy next is what they've already bought. Real purchase data drives 3 times more revenue. 3 times. But getting that data, that was hard. Retailers can only see what you bought from them. For the average brand, that's about 1% of consumer spend. For Amazon, maybe 30. Credit cards can see where you shopped, but not the actual items you bought. Closai sees it all. SKU-level, cross-brand view of every purchase transformed into a universal permission data layer so every retailer, app, or agent can build better shopping experiences that drive 3 times more revenue. AI is already reshaping shopping. 1 in 4 Americans uses it to make a purchase, which means the context on what a customer owns is more valuable than ever, and we have it. We are very excited today to announce that Closai is the first personal inventory connector available on both ChatGPT and Claude. Pretty cool. Putting our data at the center of every customer shopping question and connecting retailers with those customers on the largest AI platforms now. And this is just one channel. We're also sharing today that we're kicking off with the fashion industry's leading styling platform, rolling out to thousands of their customers this quarter alone. And we have more just like them in our pipeline. So here's how it works. With a simple email sync, our proprietary system turns years of fragmented receipts into structured intelligence. But this isn't just scanning emails. We spent over the past year doing authentication, classification, enrichment, and deduping complex returns so we could capture over 10,000 data points on every user and map to any brand's product catalog and back end. This is what all that looks like for Liz. When Liz buys her first performance running sneaker, all of her favorite brands get the signal. Nike surfaces complementary gear in her sizes. Sephora features active sunscreen from her favorite brand. And when Liz asks her agent what else she needs, it already knows. She has headphones but doesn't own a sport watch. Liz opts in for the same reason that 60% of users sync their email with us: to have everything they own in one place and shopping experiences that are effortlessly personal. We're going to market with enterprises in fashion tech and scaling with traditional brands and retailers in a model where every enterprise partner adds users, users add data, and data attracts more enterprise partners. We'll grow with this network through transaction and platform fees while laying the infrastructure that connects shopping across every vertical, from fashion, beauty, and home to sports, electronics, and more. During my decade at Amazon, I built a $300 million business on thousands of these cross-brand relationships that we are now activating. And I'm joined by Katie, a PhD in data science. If real purchase data is already 3 times as valuable today, imagine what it's worth in an agentic tomorrow. The future of shopping is personal and connected, and Closai is the infrastructure it runs on. I'm Allison Riley, and this is Closai. Thank you.
All right, hey everyone. Thanks so much to Allison with Closai. Moving right along, it is my distinct honor to be able to welcome Adam to the stage. He is the co-founder and CEO of Aerium.
All right. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? I'm Adam, CEO of Aerium, AI agents that help industrial manufacturers increase the profitability of their supply chains. What do the chemicals in the cleaning products at Walmart, the soap at stores like Bath & Body Works, and the equipment in some of North America's largest mines have in common? The manufacturers behind them all work with Aerium after just 2 months. The equipment company, we're on track to add $1 million to their top line already. $1 million. Before Aerium, they were losing contracts. Their procurement team couldn't buy quickly enough to win proposals. With Aerium, they have agents embedded that source suppliers, negotiate contracts, send payments, and track shipments until received. That's how we're adding $1 million to their top line. And this type of impact is why we're about to sign a contract that can exceed $500,000. We're confident in the value we deliver, so we use outcome-based pricing, because that creates the biggest Aerium. Low friction for the customer, incredible upside for us. And my co-founder and I, we know this because we built software for the largest manufacturers in the world while working at McKinsey. And one of the things we took away from this experience, contrary to popular belief, McKinsey worked. For a few months, you see, McKinsey would come in, we'd come into a client, find bottom line improvement, productivity improvement, but after McKinsey would leave, everything would go back to where it was. The problem? The software we built at McKinsey showed the client's dashboards, and we were there physically doing the job. So when the project was over, everything fell apart because dashboards don't do work. And so we left to start Aerium. We embed agents that do continuous procurement work specific to each of our customers' contexts. Our AI analyst handles all of the data collection and all of the tasks we used to do during these projects. And while this may sound simple, in our industry, this is revolutionary. And I think if we go through a simple walkthrough, you'll see why our customers are so excited to work with us. A manufacturer notices they have an email from Aerium's analyst. The analyst is suggesting they change their sourcing strategy. This is a really big decision. So how did it make this conclusion? Well, the analyst picked up on reports before anyone else that would affect the manufacturer's supply chain. It automatically ran scenario analysis to determine its impact. And it didn't just stop at insight, it took action. It proactively reached out to different suppliers, negotiated a contract, and all it's waiting for is approval from the manufacturer to send payment. I'm gonna pause for a second so we can recap what we just went through. This outcome in our industry is, and I mean it when I say it, revolutionary. Our analysts did something it would take a whole team to solve if they could do it at all. An autonomous system that finds information first, takes proactive action, and all it requires from the manufacturer is to give approval for the final step. This is game-changing. And it's not just the giants who could use this. There are thousands of companies with the exact same problems, and Aerium can help all of them. And if you don't want to listen to me, listen to Mike, the president of the equipment company I mentioned earlier, who said Aerium's analysts are already automating 90% of the work they have to do. So, if you want to help us revolutionize supply chain operations for manufacturers around the world, come find us at our booth. Thank you. I'm Adam.
All right, thank you, Adam and Aerium. Next up, I'm pleased to introduce the co-founder and CEO of MadeOnSite, Greg.
Good morning, New York. I'm Greg, founder of MadeOnSite. I'm actually on the stage a second time. My last company, ERA class of 2017, was a beauty brand called Myro. I took it to 25 million on run rate and 2,000 target stores. Here's one insight I learned from that experience. Beauty products are mostly made of water. Some, like body washes, are actually 90% water. And let me tell you, water is very, very expensive to ship. So when supply chains blow up, like during COVID or now, it's obvious just that you're hemorrhaging money shipping all of this water around. We actually gave this a name. We called it a water tax. And this water tax is absolutely everywhere. Hotels, hospitals, stadiums, airports, restaurants, any building buying liquid products from shampoos to floor cleaners to soaps pays this tax. And the universe of products subject to this tax is huge. $30 billion a year huge. And here's the most interesting part. Of that 30 billion, half goes straight to FedEx. Now that's a pretty sweet deal for FedEx, but kind of sucks for the rest of us. So I sold Miro and founded MadeOnSite to eliminate the water tax forever, for everyone. We designed a patent-pending hardware machine. Think of it as a micro factory that manufactures liquid products on location just from concentrated ingredients and water. This machine is what makes eliminating of the water tax possible. And today, I'm super excited to share that the very first machine is live and fully operational at our first customer, the Kigsby Hotel, right here in Midtown Manhattan, just a few blocks away from the stage. We already serve hundreds of guests every single day. But our vision goes way beyond this. What we're actually building is a platform where any liquid product by any brand in any building can be manufactured using our microfactories on site. Think of it as a Keurig for commercial liquid building supplies. We sit between property managers that want to reduce cost and existing brands that want better margin. We pass on the savings by not shipping water to our customers and partners, so we make money when they make more money. We're starting with hotels because, quite frankly, they have the thinnest margins and the biggest pain. Every room, every day, gallons and gallons of liquid products are being used. So here's how this works in practice. We install a single machine in a hotel's basement and hook it up directly to the water supply. We then connect our ingredient boxes to the machine and restock those automatically. And finally, the only thing a housekeeper needs to do is push a button and the machine automatically dispenses 5-star quality, guest-ready product instantly. Business outcome, 50% less cost. This is such an obvious solution that we have a pipeline of not one, not two, but 27 more hotels that want this now. And by the way, the way that these things get really, really big, really, really fast, is once we start locking up some of the biggest franchises out there, which we're already in discussions with. Hotels is where we start. But think about every other building you yourself may have been at just last week. An airport, a stadium, a gym, a hospital, all of those buildings pay the same water tax. And our microfactory platform scales into every single one of them, making this a $30 billion opportunity. I've spent the last 15 years in startups and have a couple of exits under my belt. My co-founder has shipped over $2 billion worth of goods for the world's largest conglomerates, and our engineers have built hardware for Google and Intel. So if you too want to make money disrupting a $30 billion supply chain, find me at the booth and let's schedule a live demo for next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Greg, with MadeOnSite. All right, keeping things moving, I am very excited to introduce our next speaker. Introducing the co-founder and CEO of Astute. Please welcome Vida.
I love this song. Good morning, everyone. My name is Vida, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Astute, an AI-native platform for B2B marketing. Every day, all of us are immersed in an ever-growing array of new content and new voices. We don't learn about the latest news or groundbreaking innovation in AI from one source. We learn from a cacophony of new voices on podcasts, Substacks and newsletters, even LinkedIn and Twitter. Creators on these platforms shape how we think, how we spend, and even where all of you invest, a little bit. They have built and turned billions of people like you and me into engaged, loyal, high-intent audiences. the explosion of this B2B creator space matters to every company that wants to reach their audiences and tell their story. Because their next customer, their next employee, and even their next investor is in these audiences. But there's a huge problem. Companies are truly struggling to reach their specific audiences in this new, vast world of content. Why? Well, I will tell you why. Because there are 5 million creators producing B2B content. 5 million. I ran growth for venture-backed companies for years. And from that experience, I've learned that at the scale of 5 million sources, it becomes pure guesswork finding creators that your audiences actually follow. It takes thousands of cold emails and months of research and months of work to land even one creator. And 95% of the time, creators don't even reply to cold emails. This B2B marketing opportunity is a $57 billion market in the US alone, begging for a solution, which is why we're building Astute. Our AI native platform enables B2B companies to work with B2B creators their audiences actually follow, which is why in under 1 month since we launched Astute, we have 63 customers on our platform who spend more than $400 million annually on B2B brand marketing. But from the beginning, we knew that existing system was broken. So we built something different. We built a proprietary network of 16,000 creators. And what we did differently is we collected thousands of granular data points from all of our creators, which becomes our proprietary metadata. So when a customer, such as VidMob, wants to reach their audiences, our AI matching agent finds creators whose audiences align and handles the process of securing placements with all of these creators completely on autopilot. And the best part is, this takes minutes instead of months. VidMob told us that Astute finally made this channel possible for them. And for them, and for 63 of our customers, and actually for every B2B company that wants to grow, Astute scales marketing and makes them grow through this new channel. With Astute, they're liberated from traditional B2B marketing when they want to tell their story. In fact, they can finally take advantage of these new platforms. They can be guests on podcasts. They can be experts for stories. They can even pay for a sponsorship. And that's why 70% of our customers launch a campaign on initial sign-up. But wait, it gets better. We've made more than 500 successful matches already. Unique matches. And we have $100,000 in paid campaigns committed on the platform. Yeah. All of this in the last 4 weeks. But this story is even bigger than B2B creator partnerships, because every creator tells us the stories they're working on, and every company tells us the stories they can tell. That puts Astute at the exact intersection of all the content audiences consume. What that means is that we continuously learn what audiences want and don't want to hear. And what that means is that we unlock the one thing every company really wants, which is to have data-backed messaging that actually resonates with their audiences. And there's no better team to build this, believe me. Together, my co-founder and I have lived this problem and built the solutions to solve it. I ran growth twice. I was actually the first growth hire. And one company exited, the other grew from 2 million to 2 billion in valuation in under 1 year. My co-founder, on the flip side, built the infrastructure behind audience targeting at scale at the Trade Desk. He built the infrastructure that today powers Astute, and the infrastructure that powers the future of B2B marketing. Because there will be one bridge between companies and their audiences. And that bridge will be Astute. Thank you all very much.
So much fun to high-five them when they come off the stage, when they know they told the story exactly how they wanted to tell it. Vita, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Next up, I'm pleased to introduce the founder and CEO of Maven, JJ.
Hello, hello, guys. Who is excited to be here? I know I am. My name is JJ, the founder of Maven. Trust infrastructure built for the aging economy. For 20 years of my career, I spent across infrastructure, commerce, and AI. At AWS, I led platform product and launched AWS in China from scratch. At StockX, I grew my team from 10 to 350 people and managed an $800 million business. Clarify, I built and led product engineering before Gen AI became mainstream. So what do I know about the future? Well, we all know AI has huge promises. But do you trust your agent today to make a transaction? Your AI agent maybe can find you a $5,000 pair of shoes for $2,000. But is that really a good deal? Do you let your agent file your taxes? I don't think so. Because there is a huge trust gap today. In fact, I've seen this at every step of my career. Technology cannot scale without trust. And agentic AI today does not have the trust layer. That is why I founded Maven. We are going to change that. So now, I'm going to take 1 second just to ground ourselves. In every agentic transaction, there are two critical nodes. First is the connector the AI uses to access data. The second one is the business they connect to on the other side. And we've already indexed all major MCP servers, and these are a leading connector standard that tells you what cannot access. And it turns out, it's not so crazy that people don't trust AI yet, because 1 in 4 we've analyzed cannot be trusted. 1 in 4, and this is crazy. This one, for example, this MCP server claims to only access your data by providing you market monitoring services. But in reality, it touches your wallet, it accesses your trading account, it can even place unauthorized trades. Why is this okay? This should not be acceptable. And Maven is going to make sure of that. So how do we do this? First, we analyze the tech stack. Next, we put the code inside our own sandbox. We observe what they do in real life, not what they tell us. In this control environment, if they do anything more than they claim, we're going to catch it. And we are the only one to do it this way. And remember we talked about it before? We also look at businesses they connect to on the other side. We pioneered a 5-layer trust protocol. On top of that, we have evaluated over 1 million businesses. 1 million businesses. So as AI starts to make decisions on our behalf, the key question, the question you all have to ask, is who should be trusted to act? And Maven makes that decision automatic, real-time, and designed for agents to use. So we opened up for early testing 1,500 test spots, and those got filled up instantly. Well, we start with developers and then move on to companies. We monetize via API usage and then enterprise contract. This AI agent market is forecasted to be over $250 billion. But I can bet you it's not going to happen until someone solves the trust problem. And that changes today because Maven has built it. Well, now imagine the same world again, where you can actually trust your agents. Right? In the background, your agents are managing your finances, shopping authentic products, and yes, even file your taxes. And what all these agents have in common? They all interface with Maven verified connector and businesses. So AI makes your life easier, but transactions cannot be trusted until there's a trust layer. And in fact, every era of computing has had a new trust standard to unlock what's possible. For the agentic AI space, that's Maven. We will unlock the future of the agent economy. And if that's the future you're interested about, come talk to me.
All right, thank you so much to JJ. All right, next up, I trust everyone will be excited by the next pitch. I am very excited to introduce Ryan to the stage. He is the CEO and co-founder of Kandir.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Ballard, founder of Kandir, a sales intelligence platform that helps close bigger deals faster. We launched Kandir just 3 weeks ago, and we already have our first 5 paying customers and $2 million in our pipeline. Let me tell you why these firms have to have Kandir. At my prior organization, my co-founder and I were chasing a $250,000 deal. This meant months of planning, on-site meetings, researching every stakeholder, told we won the deal, blown up by a procurement rep who wouldn't commit to pricing that was already agreed to. We'd find out that other sales reps selling to this account had the same experience. And we said to ourselves, there has got to be a place where this information is being shared. But this doesn't live in Apollo or Clay, not in LinkedIn, definitely not ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. That's why we built Kandir. Every sales rep has 2 sides. The one bragging about how many deals they're going to close at the start of the quarter, and the one explaining to their boss what happened. Because $30 billion a year is lost in sales opportunities forecasted to close. And with AI automating outbound, owning the close is more important than it's ever been. So sales reps, they build account plans, detailed strategies designed to help close deals. But these plans fail because they're built on guesses, because they don't understand the motivation, strategies, or tactics inside the buyer's organization. But with Kandir, account plans don't fail. We illuminate the hidden intel that no other sales tool has and spotlight things like the procurement rep who gets too greedy on discounts. With our information, sales reps close more deals. Kandir works because we tap into something no other sales tool has. Real deal experience shared by expert sellers documenting exactly who they've sold to. We've curated a network of hundreds of enterprise account executives. These AEs are paid to detail their past sales experience and break down what mattered, like where deals got stuck, how decisions got made, and what it took to close. This intel before today only existed inside the heads of these AEs, having it as our moat, and it's one that grows with the size of our database. Kandir has already collected 17,000 unique buying signals. And with AI, we will gather this data at a scale never before possible. And these contributors, we've already begun converting them into customers, because once they share their knowledge, they realize the fastest way to close their own deals is to use Kandir. So we price aggressively to get these AEs using the platform And as usage expands to their team, it puts us on a path to a $75,000 contract value. In the United States, the B2B SaaS market represents a $5 billion opportunity. But our vision is that every B2B sales team in the world will use Kandir. My co-founder and I, we have over a decade of experience working together. I've led customer growth, and he's led product at our two prior companies, Logical and WorkMarket, both of which exited for 9 figures. The sales rep's role is changing forever. AI is automating away the grunt work. Now it is all about the close. And the best sales reps will use Kandir to close bigger deals faster, because Kandir is for closers. I'm Ryan Ballard. This is Kandir. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Ryan. That was Ryan and Kandir. Okay, next up, thrilled to introduce Andrew, co-founder and CEO of Claer AI.
Hello. Thank you, Perry. Good morning, everyone. I am Andrew Reed, and we are Claer AI, the AI native future of supplements. Every morning, 190 million Americans, including probably everyone in this room, wakes up and participates in the largest uncontrolled human experiment in history by taking supplements. Now, this is a massive $70 billion market just in the US alone, and yet 70% of consumers admit to being confused and flying blind. So the costs of this are staggering. An estimated $30 billion of spend is wasted every single year on supplements that pass right through people, unabsorbed because they're taking the wrong form or the wrong dosage for their biology. The current system is truly broken, so let's quickly step through the terrible way that we buy supplements at this moment. Here we're in a Walgreens, and it's all locked up. So we turn to TikTok, and influencers provide conflicting advice with maximum confidence. Lastly, we're left to look at Amazon, perusing thousands of reviews, and leaving the process with more questions than when we started. Because the truth is that one size fits none. And this industry has ruthlessly prioritized profit margins and mass production of generic pills over science and personalized supplement regimens. Now, we know this problem intimately because we didn't just work in the industry, we led it. Running some of the largest brands on the planet, including the #1 American supplement brand Nature Made, as well as Muscle Tech, where we were the #1 sellers of creatine over the last 5 years. And yes, I recommend creatine for everyone. Now, we also have 2 startup exits under our belts, so we have the tech chops to deliver a new era in this antiquated space. I'm pleased to introduce you all today to Claer AI. One AI, one powder, one you. Now everyone can have access to elite-level supplement guidance that never scaled before, and AI makes that possible. Meet Kaylee. Like millions of Americans, she suffers from a complex health issue. In her case, irritable bowel syndrome. Now, she's tried all sorts of solutions and has a complex supplement stack, but she's tired of generic advice from influencers and generalist GPTs. With Claer, all she has to do is spend 2 minutes entering her health profile information, and she quickly gets a regimen tailored just for her biology and tackling her health goal. Lastly, she can get that delivered directly to her home in the form of one perfectly personalized powder. So behind the scenes, we connect all the dots. We take scattered health and wearable data, we crunch it, and I'll tell you a little bit more about our crunching, and then we formulate a custom powder for each individual. So behind all of that, there's a huge nutrition ontology that we utilize. So we've mapped 50,000 clinical studies to the ingredients that they discuss. And we've weighted all the evidence. So every time we make a recommendation, That's looking at the current state of peer-reviewed clinical evidence, and we flagged 2.3 million interactions between supplements and common drugs. This makes us the only AI purpose-built for the supplement space. Now, powder is a key component of this story because it's the perfect last-mile delivery system for AI-produced recommendations. The reason is that, one, it's a convenient, consumer-friendly, easy-to-swallow format, and two, the supply chain that we know extremely well gives us software-like margins at AI scale. Now, this is not just a pipe dream. I'm psyched to announce that today we are seeing 5x month-over-month growth in our beta, and furthermore, thank you, validation from industry leaders. So we've signed 2 comprehensive programmatic partnerships with leaders in the space, Zenwise and Doctors Best, and we're partnering with one of the leading global verification organizations as their exclusive technology partner, empowered by evidence. Now, if you're interested in end-to-end automation in an antiquated supply chain, in a critical and massive growing space with a world-class team, then come talk to us after the presentations and help Claer to bring powder to the people. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much to Andrew. Very briefly, Safe, give us 1 second. Very briefly, a moment of resource allocation. There are people standing there and seats there. So if we just pause for like 10 seconds or so, why don't we have folks come in and take some of these seats over here? Yes, there we go. We're going to hold for like 5 more seconds, folks. Don't be shy. Standing there, seating there. All right. Yeah, of course. Hey, folks. All right, we're tap dancing. Everyone can research creatine on Andrew's recommendation from the last pitch. Great. All right, next up, I am very excited to introduce Safe. He is the co-founder and CEO of Orqa.
Thank you, Jeremy. Hi, I'm Safe, CEO of Orqa, the foundational layer for human context. Every important decision we make about another person depends on what we know about them. Whether you're making a hire, closing a 7-figure deal, or asking someone to write a check, that decision depends on human context. But today, that context lives in decades-old platforms like LinkedIn, Salesforce, and Apollo. Each of these gives us structured fields and static databases, a job title, a company, a flat list of connections. But none of them can show you an actual person and their actual relationships. Introducing the Orqa Person Graph. To give you a sense of scale, we've mapped 1 billion relationships between people. 1 billion relationships across 126 distinct relationship types. I know this sounds crazy, and frankly, that's because it is. Using cutting-edge advances in cancer genomics, we have created a completely new framework for building social graphs and understanding people. We use court dockets, trust filings, college class notes, wedding sites, conference programs, property records, frat membership lists, White House visitor logs, and on and on and on. And we resolve thousands of these sources down to a named individual and their government-verified identity. And because we can get to this level of depth on an individual, this unprecedented level of depth that was not possible 3 months ago, we can map relationships that no one else can. To Orqa, every source is a relationship graph. Obituaries tell us stories about a family and map the relationships behind it. Patents tell us what someone has built and the people they've built it with. Corporate filings reveal formal power and hidden influence. As for our team, my co-founder Quinwai led genomics research at a national cancer lab. We apply that same rigor to people. And at BCG, I developed the firm's internal AI strategy directly with our CTO and head of AI. With the Orqa person graph, entirely new kinds of decisions become possible. Private client services, executive search, enterprise sales, premium brands, and institutional fundraising are just a few examples of businesses built on relationships that are lining up for access to our graph. We believe we've built the single most important social graph since Palantir. With the exception of governments and intelligence agencies, nobody has a deeper understanding of people and their relationships. I'm safe, and this is Orqa. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job. All right, thank you. That was Safe and Orqa. Next up, I'm pleased to introduce Andreas, co-founder and CEO of Passu.
Thank you, sir. Hey, I'm Andreas, CEO of Passu. Last summer, while working as a buy-side credit analyst, I made the worst investment decision of my career. Dish Network announced a massive transaction with AT&T and SpaceX. Their bonds rallied 52%, practically unheard of in credit. But I completely missed it. Not because I got the analysis wrong, but because I never had time to do the analysis. This is not just my story. This is the story of every credit analyst on the buy side. Global corporate credit is a $60 trillion asset class, one of the largest on Earth, but the people responsible for it are drowning. A single analyst at a credit fund is often responsible for covering more than 60 investments at the same time. On a good week, they get to go deep on maybe 2. The rest, stale views and pattern matching based on headlines. And when one of those unmonitored investments blows up or rallies 52%, the cost is not just a missed deadline. It's real money lost for clients and fund managers, real consequences. That's why we built Passu. Passu is the operating system for institutional credit investors. We 5x every analyst's productivity so they can cover more credits more comprehensively. When a company reports earnings or issues bonds, Passu gathers the relevant documents and data, generates analysis in the firm's analytical style, and distributes the output across the research organization. The result, a typical fund using Passu can get $5 million of additional analytical output every year. And we charge these firms about $250K. That's a 20 times ROI for the fund. And once we're in, we become the core infrastructure that credit teams run on. Every firm is currently sitting on a decade of investment memos collecting dust. We help them fine-tune a custom model that codifies their firm's unique alpha advantage. And finally, we can post-train on our growing proprietary data set, providing credit intelligence cheaper and more accurately than foundation models are able to. Now, within just weeks of launching, Passu is already live with one of the most respected fixed income funds in the country, with over $100 billion of assets under management. We're also working with a private credit fund founded by ex-Blackstone investors. And there's already 5 other firms interested in working with Passu with over $1 trillion of assets under management. I'm a CFA charter holder, and I was responsible for investing billions of dollars during my nearly decade of credit investing. Clients take my calls because I've sat in their seat. My co-founder and best friend, Skylar, was previously head of engineering for another AI startup from seed through Series A. And before that, he was a quantum computing scientist at Amazon and Rigetti. Together, we're building the tooling I spent my entire career wishing existed. Software engineers went from Stack Overflow to AI-native tools like Cursor, and lawyers who've used Harvey or Discernis are never going back. But if you remember one thing about Passu, it's that we are the vertical AI platform for one of the world's largest markets. Thousands of firms managing trillions of dollars. Come find me after, and I'll show you how we're transforming credit. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much to Andreas. Moving right along, I am very excited to introduce our next speaker. He is the co-founder and CEO of Philter. Please welcome Matthias.
Such a good intro song, right? Hello, everyone. My name is Matthias. I am the CEO of Philter, the management operating system for the agent-human workforce. I have led teams across consulting and industry for years. I know what great management looks like. It is all about nailing 3 things. Who should work on what do they need to succeed, and how do we know that they have succeeded? So now this matters more than ever. As companies bring agents into their organizations, everyone is becoming a manager overnight. And it turns out that managing agents require nailing those exact same things as managing people. But today, nobody knows how. And as a result, managers fail to get the most out of agents, which is a shame. And this is only getting harder. All workspace tools are introducing their own agents on top, each with unique skills and capabilities. This means that everyone will now have to supervise multiple agents across multiple tools for different purposes at the same time. Yeah. And honestly, this is a mess already today. We spoke to more than 70 project leaders over the past month, and each and every one of them is struggling to getting the most out of agents. Let me give you an example. So one manager, she told us how she's juggling agents from both Slack, Airtable, Linear, trying to automate her workflows. But today she has no clue if she's using the right agents for the right tasks. And she's not alone. 50% of all agents in use today, yes, 50%, operate with 0 evidence that they are driving optimal outcomes. So to fix this, managers need a solution that can help them do those 3 things. Delegate the right tasks to the right agents, enable them with the proper tools and context, and define clear outcomes so that they can be measured and compared. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, we are building Philter. Philter, thank you. Philter is the orchestration platform that helps enterprises and managers delegate, evaluate, and manage AI and people. Philter connects workflows across all of your tools and systems in order to provide real-time visibility, measurement, and control in one single place. And not only does Philter recommend if a task should go to an agent or person, no. In case of an agent, it also recommends from which provider, in what tool, and using which model. In essence, Philter answers how should tasks be delegated between agents and people to maximize impact. And so you might be wondering, well, can't Claude Cowork or Notion agents also do work? Oh yeah, they can do work. In fact, they do an excellent job doing work. But Philter knows what work should be done, by whom, and how. In addition, Philter ensures perfect synchronization to reduce conflicts, duplication, and silent failures. And it doesn't end there. I know. Philter learns from every outcome across every workflow so that all managers get even more out of both their agents and their people. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, in less than 2 weeks and with zero marketing dollars spent, more than 50 chiefs of staff, heads of operations, and project leaders, some of the busiest people in this world, have raced to sign up for our beta. And those who are already using it, thank you. And those who are already using it today, well, they all say that it has never been easier to collaborate with agents than it is with Philter. Together, my co-founder and I, also known as the Matthiases, bring more than 15 years of combined experience supervising work, including a decade at McKinsey. We know what best practice management looks like. And so if you take away only one thing from this presentation, well, then let it be this. The future of work is agents and people together. And they are both managed using Philter. All of you, if any of you are interested in building the future, well, then we'd love to chat. Thank you.
All right. That was Philter and Matthias. Next up, I'm thrilled to introduce the co-founder and CEO of Quantuma, Adnan.
Hi, I'm Adnan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Quantuma, and we're building transaction intelligence for commercial banking. I was an SVP at a fintech unicorn, and I saw regional banks, commercial banks, getting squeezed between big banks on one hand and fintechs on the other. And the challenge is that by the time sales teams at these organizations see an opportunity, it's already too late because that deal is lost. The underlying challenge is that it's impossible for any one person to follow hundreds of companies and thousands of transactions. In fact, transactions in commercial banking are a lot more messy than in retail banking. These aren't just card transactions. These are ACH transfers. These are wire transfers. And buried inside each of these is a unique narrative. That narrative is gold. But commercial banks have never been able to mine it. The underlying problem is that it's really hard to mine this data. And that's why we've built an LLM purpose-built for transaction intelligence. Meet QTX Nano. QTX is an ultra-low latency LLM designed for enriching commercial banking transactions. And QTX is 154 times faster than the nearest frontier model. And we're able to achieve this staggering speed while retaining 90% of the accuracy compared to frontier models. Now, with QTX, every transaction tells a story. Who's paying who? How much? For what? And when we do this across millions of transactions, something truly extraordinary emerges. And that's a knowledge graph of commercial relationships. A knowledge graph that connects each company to its suppliers, its customers, its lenders, and yes, the fintech relationships that they have. Quantuma's deep reasoning agents synthesize all of this into actionable opportunities that relationship managers can take to their customers today. Now, let's take an example from one of our clients, Vesco Water. Now, Vesco is on an acquisition spree. They made 7 acquisitions in the last 12 months or so, and is funded by debt from 21 different lenders. The Quantuma agent analyzed this and identified an opportunity that given Vesco's acquisition pace, they'll likely run out of room in their facilities, and they will need credit soon. Now, our client, they already have a relationship with Vesco. And now, with the opportunity that Quantuma has surfaced, they can make the call before their competitor. And that call, it would never have happened without Quantuma. Because no one's looking 24 hours a day, connecting the dots between transactions, between facility utilizations, market signals. No one but Quantuma. That's why I'm happy to announce today that we have 3 financial institutions that we're already piloting with. Collectively, they represent $32 billion in assets. And that's not all. We also have 4 banks in the pipeline that we're starting to work with. Thank you. I spent my whole career building banking tech. At Zafin, the products that I built are running in the world's largest banks. They're powering banking experiences for millions of Americans. My co-founder, Yasit, spent the last 10 years at Google and Meta shipping AI models that are used by over 1 billion people worldwide. And this market that we're building for is huge. There are over 4,000 commercial banks in the US. And collectively, they generate over $1 trillion in revenue. That's larger than the global SaaS revenue put together. So yeah, it's a huge market. And what all of them need is an analyst for every customer. That's Quantuma. Thank you.
All right, that was Quantuma. And we have the penultimate pitch coming up here. So very excited to keep going here. Very honored to welcome to the stage Katz. He is the co-founder and CEO of Parrot Content.
I can fly. Oh, cut it, cut it. All right, that's what the song was. We are Parrot Content, the agentic creative studio that makes great content easy to ship. Hello, I'm Katz, co-founder and CEO. I ran content at Nickelodeon, Under Armour, MyFitnessPal, and ZocDoc. You got to meet my co-founder, Rob, though. Look at that coat. We met at Nickelodeon, where he won an Emmy for the Nick app. He then won the Cannes Lion Grand Prix for tech he built with Microsoft. But what I love most about him is he worked hand in hand with marketers at Freshly, a unicorn doing over $500 million in annual revenue. Back to me, though. I am the CEO. I ran Patrick Starr's Twitter. It was a real job. I wrote this tweet. It's one of my best. Those 2 sentences, though, took us 4 weeks to get approved, and I had a social media agency to press post. This Under Armour campaign took us 6 months and cost $15 million. Great storytelling is expensive, slow, and unpredictable. If you can swing it, though, you can change your company forever. That one Under Armour campaign generated $1 billion in revenue. Most companies, though, cannot afford a world-class ad agency. So what do they get into? Performance marketing. Because it seems cheap, fast, measurable, but like any good drug, it gets more expensive and less effective over time. And when you stop paying for it, your company goes into withdrawal and growth grinds to a halt, or worse. Gather around for a story about Freshly, Rob's old haunt. They were a unicorn, doing over 1 million meals a week. But what you didn't see is they were propped up by $100 million in annual ad spend. One day, retention started to erode while CAC was exploding, and they could not acquire customers as fast as they were losing them. So this one-time unicorn was put out to pasture. There are so many stories like this. We just don't like to talk about it that much. So, what if there was a better way to grow? Introducing Parrot Content. The creative engine that makes your brand's content unmistakable. But what about AI? AI can make content very easy, but we all started sounding the same. That's not me. I would never write that. I'm Patrick Starr. There's like 7 hashtags there. It's crazy. Parrot is different. We encode your brand, your point of view, your visual identity, your voice so deeply that every piece of content is distinctly you. And we get smarter and more you with every post. We show you what's happening in culture, the latest TikTok dance. I'm not going to dance. Those days are in my past. We show you what your content's going to look like exactly before it goes live. So remember those 4 weeks and a social media agency to press post? That's now reduced to minutes at a fraction of the cost. So this might sound like a marketer's fantasy, but I'm happy to announce that we have paying customers. And no, not just my dad's friend's HVAC company, real brands that you've heard of, like Too Good To Go, the world's largest marketplace for surplus food. They are a global brand, but they operate at a hyper-local level. Someone in New York does not want a surprise food bag from LA. That would just be weird. Despite this, though, they could only afford to do a little bit of national marketing. Parrot Content changed this overnight. They could create great content for every market and every channel. There are so many companies like Too Good To Go, hotel chains, restaurant groups, sports leagues, franchisees. That's why we already have paying customers. That's why we have over $3 million of qualified leads in our pipeline. And we just launched 6 weeks ago. But this opportunity is far larger than that. $1.2 trillion spent on marketing in the US, and most companies are dangerously addicted to that drug, performance marketing. Parrot offers a better lever, one that gets more effective over time, and it makes your paid work harder too. So, if there's one thing you remember, I want it to be this. Every company deserves world-class storytelling, and that's what Parrot Content provides. So join the flock. I'm Katz. We are Parrot Content. Let's fly.
All right, so thank you, Katz. We promised you 14 amazing companies. And if you're counting, you've only seen 13 amazing companies. So please, put your hands together for our 14th amazing company, our final pitch today. Please welcome to the stage Braden and Cascade Geomatics.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I'm Braden. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Cascade Geomatics, the early warning system for mines and railroads. Every industry in the world has some form of early warning system for their biggest problems. Manufacturing has supply chain alarms, nuclear power has control rods, and more recently, Artemis II had heat shield warning systems. Let's see what rail has. They don't got a lot. They have no way to know when very serious problems and geohazards like rock falls and washouts are going to come and destroy their trains and tracks. It is a $300 billion industry that is completely in the dark until now. Cascade Geomatics finally allows railroads to predict and act on geohazards. How do we do it? My co-founder Nafisa and I collaborated on avalanche science research at Oregon State University, where we built autonomous, remotely deployed systems that could predict avalanches. We understood that our research could be translated into a real-world solution and scaled into a business that is accelerating fast through a remarkably slow industry. Here are some of the companies that are looking to partner with Cascade Geomatics for their geohazard needs. And some more, and some more. This is most of them. There's not a lot of railroads left. It's been less than 6 months since incorporation, and we're already deploying at 2 of the largest railroads in the world. What do these deployments actually look like, though? Based on the special insight we gained from our research, we've developed a multi-sensor fusion approach, where we first continuously scan the terrain, giving operators the most comprehensive real-time view to date. Next, we analyze it with our proprietary AI and physics models, allowing operators to predict hours to days before these events occur. And finally, we display it in an easy-to-understand web dashboard so operators can make decisions and act on them. Right now, some of our rail corridors, the trains go as slow as 8 miles an hour. The largest railroads estimate that the certainty we would provide would triple train speeds, leading to $2 billion in additional revenue. It's not just rail. Mines have the same exact problem, and Cascade sells the same exact solution. We've spoken with over 300 different mining companies, and their collective response can be summed up in one quote: mines are unequivocally willing to pay. This was said by the CEO of one of the largest open pit mines in North America. And pay they are. In addition to our 2 rail deployments, we're also deploying at 2 mines. One of these deployments would help open up a mine that does $80 million a year in revenue that is currently closed due to safety reasons. We don't just protect machines, though. We help automate them. That's why Caterpillar, the largest manufacturer in both industries, is looking to collaborate with Cascade Geomatics. It's not just our private assets, though. Everyone is affected. Dams, pipelines, roads are all under constant geohazard threat, a threat that Cascade Geomatics is uniquely positioned to alleviate. If you're interested in learning more about the future of rail, mining, and infrastructure safety, please come say hi. Thank you for the time.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for coming. Let's give another round of applause for all those founders. Yeah.
Thanks, Sophia. I'm Sho. Thank you all so much for being here at Demo Day. If you liked what you saw, please scan this QR code behind me or go to eranyc.com/demo day. There we are. There's the QR code. And one last announcement for you all. Applications are open for our summer cohort. That's ERA 31. Applications will close on May 4th at midnight. If you know any founders that would be a good fit for our program, please let us know. Send them our way. And with that, we'll wrap up Demo Day for ERA 30. We'll be over there at the booths. And thank you so much for coming.